In this video, everyone, Hilda's back on the channel. Woohoo! Regular viewers will know that Hilda's not been on the channel for a while. In fact, there's not many videos of Hilda, considering I've owned her now for what must be over 2 years. There's not many videos of Hilda at all, but over the time, Hilda has had quite a bit of work done, and obviously if you have been following the channel, you know what that work is. But for those new viewers, or for those that may have seen the videos before but have forgotten, it's been that long, I'll give you a quick update on Hilda. When we bought her, she seemed mechanically to be in really good condition. It had been rebuilt by somebody in 2020 during that thing called lockdown, and they seem to have done a really good job of the rebuild, and it all seems solid. She's not full of filler, the floors are solid, everything's good. But I don't know if the same person painted it, but whoever painted it, they chose to paint it in a grey colour, which was fine, looked good with the sort of black and silver number plates. But it had what I kept referring to as a hammerite finish, and we just wasn't happy with that hammerite finish. Now, naively, of course, I thought, well, maybe my paint shop will be able to do something with that finish. So I took Hilda to the paint shop after taking her for a change of windscreen, because she got a toughened windscreen. My background was automotive glass. I wanted a laminated windscreen, so we got one specially ordered, made. When that was fitted, went to the body shop in the hope he could do something, but then we quickly realised that he couldn't. So then I was left with the simple question. It was simple because it was an easy answer. My late father's first car was a red Hillman Imp, which is why I bought this car. And this car's original colour was Firebrand Red 137. So if we were going to get it all painted, we might as well get it all painted in the correct colour. And that's what we did. She's had a big service. She's had gearbox oil done. She's had a new radiator because we got overheating problems, and that's the reason for this video today, but more about that in a moment. She's had a new water pump and a fan belt. So she's had a lot done. She drives really well. She starts really easy no matter how long you've left her. There is a knack to starting her though, for anyone that's interested. When you've left her for a while, you put choke on maximum, which is logical. You turn the key, she pretty much immediately starts. She fires straight away. But as soon as she starts, she sounds like she wants to cough and clear her throat. And we've realised to help her do that, as soon as she fires, we put the choke to half, and then soon after that, about a quarter, and she seems to be fine. So the only thing now that we've got with Hilda, apart from obviously we're checking for overheating problems, is that she doesn't seem to like to restart when she's hot, which can be problematic, particularly if you stall the car. So we're on a run today, and we're going to take her down the A38, if anyone's interested, which was the same A38 I took her to go to Chesterfield to get the windscreen done, and then to near Matlock to the paint shop, where I realised quickly that although she was happy to drive around the local roads, on the A38 at 50 mile an hour, she would start overheating quickly. Well, not that quickly, but you know what I mean. So every few minutes I was having to stop. I'm just watching what this tipper truck's doing. We would have to stop, leave her running, but let her cool down for about 5-10 minutes. And then we'd do another 5-10 minute, maybe even 15-minute drive. And then the temperature would start to creep. And of course, anyone that knows their imp engines, it's a version of a Coventry Climax engine. It's aluminium, and they can warp their heads. So it's best to look after her. People keep pointing at this car. I love it. I don't buy the car for people to point or love it. I buy it because I love it myself. But it's really nice, isn't it, when you pass people in there, you can see them looking and sometimes pointing or waving or whatever. I think it's really nice. So yes, we're going to take her down the same road and see what we find from an overheating point of view. Just got to wait for some traffic. Ironically, when she's sitting in traffic, temperature never moves. So it's literally only happening when you're obviously keeping the speed going. So we'll see what happens. Stick with us, folks. You know, just before we go on the A38, I'll say, and if you've driven an Imp, of course, you'll know this. The car was, of course, meant to compete with the Mini. It never had a chance to compete with the Mini. They rushed it into production. They didn't do enough testing. They did some real hard testing in different hot countries, but they didn't do real world tests where the car was going to get used for 10 minutes down the road. So that caused a lot of problems. They first came up with an automatic choke system that never really worked, and they ended up, I think, backtracking on that. This one's got a manual choke. And of course, it had got a rear engine just at the point in 1963 when this car was launched. They only lasted till 1976. So that factory that was purpose built for this car paid partly through government funding, because I think the ship workers had lost jobs and stuff. That factory only lasted for 13 years, and it only really built the Imp. Yeah, it didn't have the great start, and it was launched with a rear engine just at that time when the world was saying, actually, we prefer our front engines, and of course the Mini. Very small package, very clever design by Isigonis. I can't say it because I'm Brummy. You have to make sure you don't stall. So brilliant design, and of course the engine was in the front. So the Imp had got no chance. But anyone that has driven an Imp will know they're really, really nippy. I would suggest quicker than the Mini. Okay, the engine's only 25 cc's bigger, but off the line, she really does go. And she sounds lovely when she's doing it as well. A38, everyone. Let's see how Hilda does. Basically wanted you to sort of be with me in case I have problems. Here we go. I'm going to shut the window a bit, keep a bit of noise out. Hilda brings her own noise. I'm sure anyone old enough to have driven an Imp back in the day, I'm sure in the day people used to just drive them at whatever speed they would do. Obviously Hilda is now 52 years old, 53 years old, something like that. You want to be a little gentle with the old girl. So I tend to stick at about 50 mile an hour, although at the minute we're going to a 40 mile an hour, so 50 mile an hour she seems to be quite happy. It's just a case now of me watching that temperature gauge. She's full of fuel, and I only use good fuel in my cars. I have checked the coolant level, and the coolant level's fine. She hasn't lost anything. We have been leaving her running at the garages that I rent and getting her up to temperature, but of course that's not the same as getting her out on the road, is it? So here we go. If you've ever owned a Hillman Imp yourself, or maybe you do now, or if you only maybe have ever travelled in a Hillman Imp years ago, back in the day, let me know in the comments. Tell me what you thought. Did you enjoy driving or riding along in a Hillman Imp? Or of course its other variants, including the Singer Chamois, which is still a Hillman Imp, just a bit of badge exercise with a few different bits fitted. Some of them had twin headlamps on the front. They look really nice. Right, the speed limit's changing, everyone, so let's see what happens and hope that that temperature gauge stays where it is. It's happily in the middle at the moment. I don't know how much the microphone is picking up the engine versus cancelling the noise out, but the Imp isn't the quietest car in the world. It's quite funny really, because when you're driving on local roads and obviously you keep stopping and then pulling away, I genuinely think that the engine sound is so characterful. It's definitely a Hillman Imp if you hear it and you know your engines. But when you're out on a trunk road like this now on the A38, I can imagine it getting a bit tiresome. Having said that, We own an A-series Citroen, don't we? And we tend to sit at about 50 mile an hour in that. And that wasn't quite, that's not quiet either, but the cars are just wonderful, aren't they? They bring a smile every time. And as I've said in the video already, people notice this car going down the road, and lots of them smile in a good way. Some of them point, some of them wave. If you're pulled up somewhere, particularly at a petrol station, you normally get someone talking to you. And quite often it's because, of course, they're a similar age to me, aren't they? And they're remembering seeing those cars. These cars would have been everywhere. Okay, not as prolific. They wouldn't have been as everywhere as the Mini, but there would certainly have been plenty of them on the road. So I have been saying quite often recently, on the rare occasion I do these videos, that my dad's first car was a red Hillman Imp. It was, but actually, when we said about that badge engineering, his was a Singer Chamois. Now, it wasn't the slopey back one, it was the same box car shape as this one. So it looked pretty much identical to this one in every way, although it had twin headlamps, and it really did look nice with the twin headlamps. Now, I am planning at some point in this car, so please stay tuned and subscribe if you're not subscribed, because why would you want to miss this? And it's completely free to subscribe to the channel, of course, and there's a link at the end of this video to do just that. And there'll have been a QR code at some point over here. I'm going to do a nostalgia drive, and I'm going to take Hilda, Hillman Imp, to Birmingham, to a place called Shard End, and I'm going to park the car, providing there's no cars parked there, in exactly the spot that my dad's red Hillman Imp would have parked in the 70s. I would have probably been about age 6, 7, actually I'd have been aged about 9. I'm going to take myself right back to 1976, and I'm going to park Hilda in the exact spot that my late father's red Imp would have parked, to visit his mum and dad, so therefore my nan and granddad. That's going to be a proper nostalgia hit, isn't it? Straight into the veins. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope some of you come along for the journey with me. It's going to be a very important day. Hilda's definitely going to be how can I say, she'll be paying me back for all the love we've shown her, apart from the lack of driving her, of course. So, right, I'm not going to keep this video much longer. We have been on the A38 now for a few minutes, and that temperature gauge has not moved. I think she's doing very good indeed. Thanks for watching. Enjoy whatever it is you're driving, and if you can hear me, see you soon.